We're going to finish up. These have been excellent tonight. I've really enjoyed these keynotes. We've only got one left. Kat's going to wind things down here. Thank you, Kat.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I'm Italian, so I can't shout if you want me to. Okay, so thank you for inviting me here. I am truly honored, and I can't express that enough. When I was asked to be a guest author at When Words Collide 2019, I was not only surprised that they had considered me, I was extremely grateful, and then I was excited, and then I was bloody nervous. I was given a rundown of what my appearance here at When Worlds Collide would entail, and my heart stopped on the keynote speech. You see, I'm not a speaker. I'm not a very good one anyway. I'm a writer, which means I don't get out much. Speaking in public makes me anxious, and my hands get all clammy, and, well, you know, what I really want to do is run for the hills or grab a glass of whiskey. When I sat down to write my speech for today, my mind was blank, much like the first time I sat down to write my first book. It wasn't so long ago I felt the anxiety of placing my fingers to the keyboard, knowing what I wanted to do, but not having the slightest idea on how to do it. I was overwhelmed and definitely scared, just like I am right now. Confidence is the key to becoming successful in anything we do. Sadly, most of us are lacking in that department. Writing is a very solitary career, and I now understand why Ernest Hemingway drinks. I've always felt the need to write, to touch people with words, to compel them to think, to feel, to be better. And in the beginning, I hadn't the slightest idea on how to accomplish that. I'd written for online magazines, and I'd written for local magazines, newspaper articles, factual articles based on research, and doing the only thing that made sense to me, I researched the craft of writing. As my confidence grew, I decided it was time to start writing my book. And after I wrote the first sentence, self-confidence deserted me, and fear took hold. Questions filled my head. What was I thinking? Who am I, and why would anyone want to read what I wrote? And where the hell is the whiskey? What I didn't know then was self-doubt, along with procrastination, are what like Al Capone was to Eliot Ness, a bloody nightmare. And I would experience this emotion every time I sat down to write a new book. It comes with the job. I made a deal with myself back then, a private goal that no one knew about other than me, my laptop, pen, and paper. Write every day for 1 month. No word count, no deadline, just write. The days were spent with my children, and so I chose the evening to pursue my goal. I didn't stress about my words or the story or the fact that it all probably just sucked. I just wrote. 1 month went into 2 and 3 and 4, and I'd finished my first book. Was it any good? Nope. It was terrible, but it was done. I had finished it. So much like this speech, I wrote a little bit at a time. And I won't lie to you, I did some research. That's what us writers do, right? I listened to Steve Jobs talk about his company and how he got started. I read countless speeches on the internet, only to realize I was nowhere accomplished as they were. I don't have a billion-dollar company. My name isn't in lights. Hell, most people don't know who I am. But what I do have is passion. And you need this to be a writer. I know what it feels like to be rejected, to be yelled at in an email by a publisher, to be told you're not good enough, to stay up all hours of the night writing and researching, only to lose the whole book because your computer crashed. Defeat, it's part of the game. Feeling not worthy is part of the game, but so is passion. And with that comes motivation and perseverance. There's one thing I never allowed myself to do, and that was give up. Confidence comes and goes, and like I said earlier, we are our own worst enemies. But what remains the same is the desire, the hunger to write. It is the overwhelming urge to create that drives you to stay up all hours of the night, research until your vision blurs, and type until your hand sees. Passion, it will not allow you to give up. It will not let you get halfway through and throw it all away. Passion is the ice in your whiskey. For all of you writers starting out, don't stop. Reject the self-doubt. Throw it in the trash. Place your fingers to the bloody keyboard and write. Grab hold and don't let go. International best-selling author and a very good friend of mine and my mentor, Cheryl K. Tardif, always says, dare to dream and dream big. And when you don't think you can do it, remember me. If I can make it, so can you. Today, I am a When Worlds Collide guest of honor, a privilege I hold very close to my heart. And I leave you with my favorite quote. My favorite quote by William Faulkner. My own experience has been that the tools I need for my trade are paper, food, tobacco, and a little bit of whiskey. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kat. We are thrilled that you and our other guests are with us this weekend. And thank you so much for the wonderful keynotes tonight. Once again, this has been my favorite part of the weekend. I just love these keynotes. You all gave us something different, unique, something personal, and I just love that. Thank you very much.